Council of Monday, October 20th, 25 to order. Do we have a motion?
Yes, we do. I will make a motion to appoint Mary Ann Rosa as the town meeting moderator.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, nominations are closed. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Do we have a motion for clerk of the town meeting?
I'll make a motion to appoint Sue King as clerk of the town meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Seeing none, motions are closed. All those in favor of C, please say aye.
Aye.
I am going to read the warning and notice of the special town meeting. Legal voters of the town of Watertown and those entitled to vote in the town meeting are hereby warned and notified of a special town meeting to be held on Monday, October 20th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at the Town Council Chambers to consider authorizing an appropriation of $3,019,560 from the general fund to secure funding for a reimbursement grant from the state of Connecticut Transportation Alternative Federal Surface Transportation Block Grant Program, State Project 153-125. Reimbursement will be in the amount of $2,382,240, with the town's municipal share of $637,320. This grant is for the construction of Steelbrook Greenway project to build a segment of 10 to 12-foot wide multi-use trail along Steelbrook, beginning at French Street and ending at the Unico Field. A link to view the special town meeting will be posted on the Town of Watertown website, www.watertowncc.org, by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Anyone wishing to vote at the special town meeting must attend in person. Anyone wishing to provide comments for the meeting may do so by emailing the town council at watertowncc.org or by mail to the Watertown Town Council, 61 Echo Lake Road, Watertown, 06795, and must be received by 2 p.m. on Monday, October 20th, 2025. If you require a translator or an accommodation for hearing impairment or other accommodation, contact the Town of Watertown at 860-945-5255. Dated at Watertown, Connecticut, the 9th day of October, 2025, Mark A. Ramo, Town Manager. And the return of warning. I hereby certify that on October 9th, 2025, I left a duplicate copy of the attached warning and notice of special town meeting of the Town of Watertown, Connecticut, to be held on October 20th, 2025, with Lisa Dalton, Town Clerk. I hereby certify that on October 9th, 2025, I caused a copy of said warning and notice to be published in the Republican American newspaper, which has a substantial circulation in said town, and placed upon the Town of Watertown website under legal notices. I further certify that on October 9th, 2025, caused to be set upon the signpost nearest the office of the town clerk and all other places with signposts designated by the town, a written copy of the warning and notice signed by me as town manager. I further certify that all the above acts were done at least 5 days before the holding of the special town meeting on October 20th, 2025. This is dated at Watertown, Connecticut, the 9th day of October, 2025, Mark A. Ramo, Town Manager. The Town Clerk's certification as to warning and return of warning. I hereby certify that the attached warning and notice of the foregoing return of warning are duly recorded in the records of the Town of Watertown, Connecticut, and that Mark A. Ramo was Town Manager of the Town of Watertown on the date the warning and return of warning were signed, dated at Watertown, the 9th day of October, 2025. Lisa Dalton, Clerk. Mr. Bukowski, would you be kind enough to give us an overview of what we're talking about?
I'll save you on slides. I know some of this will be small to see, but afterwards, if you want to come up and take a look. This is our snow report. First, I'd like to thank our DPW team and also the town manager, town council, and the residents for supporting our capital infrastructure projects. This is one of a dozen capital or capital-like projects that we have going on in the town in various stages of planning, design, out to bid, and in construction. Two major capital projects that were completed was the Wilson Street Bridge and the Guernseytown Road. Plus, I'd like to thank you for the capital paving program to continue on with this program for the next few years. The next large project that's going to be up is 88 projects. It's a local transportation program, otherwise known as LoTSIP. It's 100% funded up front by the state, so we will not have to have a meeting like this for the 88 projects. I'll skip over the project details. You read them in the description, the state details. But I'll just touch a little bit more. It's a 3,800 linear foot paved recreational trail from Unico Bridge to French Street. The big part of the project is a bridge over the Steel Brook, adjacent to the French Street. Also at French Street, we're going to have a flashing beacon in order for you to cross the road safely to get to the Siemens property hiking trail. There'll also be some minor drainage. It will be all handicap accessible, and there'll be some rail and fencing. We do have a phase 2 of this project. We already have the grant funding in. It's just under $250,000. It's a separate grant, and that will bring it from the Unico Bridge to the Seymour Smith complex. So 2 years from now, you'll be able to walk from Seymour Smith complex all the way basically to Town Hall on a hiking trail that's adjacent to Main Street. We're anticipating going out to bid this November, December, with construction to start late winter, early spring. Keys to start the project early to remove the trees. Per our permits from the Army Corps of Engineers and the Department of Environmental and Energy Protection, permits for tree removal is not authorized between April 15th. So we have to get the trees down by April 15th. And I have to say, due to endangered bats. I know we have millions of trees, but I guess all trees are special. It's the same issue that faces the DLT with a lot of their large construction projects. Just for communications, public hearing was held in November of 23. We published it in the last 2 CIP books, multiple public works subcommittees, multiple monthly DPW reports, night out on Main Street. It was in our operational and capital budget briefs. I understand this project has been discussed since 2013 with the former Parks and Rec Director, the champion of trails, Lisa Carew, and now we're supporting the current Parks and Rec Director, Mike Ganem. The one thing about this, and I know it's probably going to be a longer term thing, is to have a true capital project, true capital budget, instead of it kind of gets woven into our operational budget a bit. They're kind of in between. This will help us because if it's not passed, we'll have to pay back the full design cost, which was 80% reimbursable. The full design was $490,000, so we'd have to pay 80% of that, plus the right-of-way cost, which is around $150,000 that the DLT is currently handling right now. So it would be about $500,000 that would have to pay back to the state and federal government for this. Just a couple of public information. A public information meeting is going to be held this Thursday for Main Street. Actually, the 2 designs that we have ongoing. It's going to go from the pin shop to French Street for the preliminary design. In the full design, we're going from French to Baldwin. We're starting at 6 o'clock to 6:30 for an open house. and then 6:30 with briefings. And next Tuesday, in fact, I'll save this one for Mr. Ritalik for that. Do you have any questions?
Anyone? Anyone? Yes, sir.
Very pleased. The Greenway is coming to fruition. From a person who previously used to run on a daily basis, I would begin my runs at Unico Field and go north. I'd end up with water, mud up to my knees. That now with it being paved, as I'm in my later years, I'm into walking. I'm looking forward to going from Unico north to Front Street, cross the street with safety, to continue on to the area of the Greenway behind the Seaman Company and on as you're describing. I think it's very good for recreational purposes and it should be supported unanimously. Thank you.
To the chair, if I may.
No, yes.
I know a while back when we talked about this, there was some concern from the business owners on the other side of the river. About washout and flooding and things like that. And I know one company is moving out or is in the process of moving out. Was anything fixed what they were looking for? Did we clean the brook out?
Which
down through there?
specific location?
It was by Gowns and Knights. If I recall, it was Dave Palmer that was having some concern about the flooding.
No, first of all, the new bridge is fully designed. It's out of the flood plain. It's actually has to be 1 foot above it. It's on piers, so there'll be no issue with the bridge. This is a whole other subject. After looking at the Steel Brook, I really think the restriction is the Unico Bridge. Not only on the top, but also underneath where it has to be wider.
Yep.
To move the flow of water through. And that topic I could take 50 minutes on, but
Okay.
I could bring this up at a Public Works Subcommittee for further information.
Mr. Bukowski, would you mind just mentioning about clearing out down below by Riverside? You made that clearing this year and also the FEMA grant that we went after to see if maybe.
Correct.
Correct
This,
area.
so I'll touch on two areas. At the Pearl Harbor Bridge, we cleaned out underneath Route 73 in Riverside with the thanks of the help from the DOT from the 18 August storm from last year. Right now, that water is flowing during storms. There's no backup on that area. What I assume happened is when the dam collapsed, good 3.5 years ago, I think all that sediment load was coming at us, because we cleaned it twice in 3 years. So hopefully right now it's flushed out. The other thing is final 15 detention basins of the 51. It should be done within the next couple days, next week. It's definitely going to help us reduce the amount of flooding in town by taking out and relocating that sediment load, because sediment would take up the quantity of storage for the water. So the detention basins would tip immediately during a storm. Now we're going to stage it and then it'll flow out. So we are in a better position. I don't want to say eliminate flooding, but it's definitely going to reduce flooding with the 51 basins and the work that we did at the Pearl Harbor Bridge.
Thank you. Anyone else?
You, Mayor.
Yes, Gary.
As far as the bridges there, are they gonna be longer than what the other ones were previously? Like where they just hit the banks on each side of the river? I mean, like, I think they should go like maybe at least probably 6 more feet on each side of the,
I know this was designed, like I said, it's 100% designed by Weston and Sampson. So they're bridge engineers who, you know, I done a couple bridges in my career, but they do dozens of bridges. And plus within the permit requirements, there will be abutments, of course, outside of the 100-year flood. but I don't think it's gonna, extend, further behind. And that picture that's there is the existing bridge on the Steel Brook by Seymour Smith.
Through the chair. We have this project and you mentioned that there's a phase two that we already had a grant for.
Correct.
Is there any other projects that we need to complete for the Greenway project other than this one in front of us and phase two? Is there more extensions planned or is this it?
For this, section of the Steel Brook, that's what we have in the design. In the planning side, we don't have anything further on the Steel Brook corridor. I know when the railroad gave up the property, a lot of the property owners, so I guess that opportunity was 20 to 30 to 40 years ago, for us to acquire that corridor. But the way it went down is each of the property owners got half of that corridor. So it'll be a lot tougher to bring it down into Oakville, like towards the pin shop where the railroad and trolley used to go. But we do have another project on the Naugatuck Valley Greenway that we're working on with the NVCOG to connect all the towns in the valley together. We originally, and this is just a rough number, had like $400,000 in design. We probably needed $1 million. The RAISE grant came through the federal government. NVCOG was the proponent. They were going to take care of 4 towns. We were one of them. And recently, about 2 months ago, the RAISE grant, the federal grant, was rescinded, deleted for that. There's another round through the DEP for trails. We were told if we put in for it, they'll consider ours and those other 3 towns at a higher rate because they took away the $6 million. So I'm probably gonna look for another 600,000 to match with our 400,000 to do the $1 million design from the bus, the state bus, maintenance garage, all the way up to the town line in Thomaston.
Anybody else? Okay, do we have a motion?
Yes, I'll move to authorize an appropriation of $3,019,560 from the general fund to secure funding of a reimbursement grant under the State of Connecticut Transportation Alternatives Federal Surface Transportation Block Grant Program, State Project 153-125. Reimbursement will be in the amount of $2,382,240 with the town's municipal share of $637,320. This grant is for the construction of Steel Brook Greenway project to build a segment of 10 to 12 foot wide multi-use trail along Steel Brook, beginning at French Street and ending at Unico Field.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the public? Anyone out there that would like to ask a question? Yes. Okay, no, you have to come to the microphone so we can record it.
Dan DeVito, Pine Ridge Drive Extension. Can you reiterate what it'll cost if we do not move forward with the project?
It's through the chair, it's basically around $500,000. We'd have to pay 80% of the design and $150,000 for the right-of-way funding that was provided.
Okay. So if we do move forward, it's a little over 600, and if we don't move forward, it's about 500.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
Barbara Zelkowski, 17 Mallory Road. I just have a quick question. I appreciate that this is all from a grant, most of the expenditures. My question is, does this grant include labor costs and anything that may go over? And if it does go over, where is this money coming from?
Sure.
Thank you. Through the chair, there's a 10% contingency, that's part of the project. So that will be covered as part of the 10% for the contingency.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? The motion passes unanimously. The special town meeting is hereby adjourned.
Recording stopped.
Good evening. I hereby call the regular meeting of the Town Council of Monday, October 20th, 2025 to order. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mary Ann Rosa,
Here.
Ken Demias,
Here.
Robert Casina,
Here.
Anthony Devona,
Here.
Gary Lafferty,
Here.
Karina Noy,
Here.
Jonathan Ramsey.
Here.
Robert Ritalik,
Here.
Rachel Ryan.
Here.
Next on the agenda is public participation. Mr. Mickle?
Al Mickle, 95 Woodbine Avenue. With the size of the packet tonight, I don't know if I can get through all my comments in 3 minutes. It was 51 pages long. It took me longer to read it. One of the things on the agenda is the job descriptions to the building official. And one job title confused me. It says Administrator of Land Use Administrator, Zoning Enforcement Officer. I don't think that can fit on a business card. Maybe you want to think about that title. In one of those positions, it says, this position is a salaried unit member. Okay. The next position says, this position is a salaried at-will member. I don't know what you meant by those two statements, but they're there. If you want to change them, I would make them clearer what they really mean. One of the things, I'm on the golf subcommittee of the Park and Rec Commission, and that's on the agenda tonight. And I was at the meeting on October 2nd, and I think that's one of the best meetings I've been to as an example of public participation. It was a give and take between the golfers and the commission, and I think it is something to be very proud of, and it's what public participation should be, I believe. You're going to talk about a new commission at the end of the night. I'm going to be very interested in how it's formed, who's going to be members, when it's going to meet, and what its powers and responsibilities are going to be. Oh, I got lots of time left. Last thing, though, is one of the mentions in section 8 is the upcoming meetings, the Finance Committee workshop. Now, the Finance Committee is the entire council. Is the entire council going to be invited to that? Or is it going to be like in the old days, where we have a 3-member panel of the Finance Subcommittee? I would suggest it's a 3-member panel or more, but not the entire council. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the only forum we have for this evening, so I will close public participation.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the October 6th, 2025 regular meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Are there any corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining?
I abstain. Abstention.
One abstention?
Two.
Two abstentions. The motion passes. Chairman's report. Couple of things. We were obviously disappointed in the decision by the WSA with regard to the Westgate ratepayers. We have asked our town attorney to look into whether or not we will have any authority to override anything that WSA does. We don't know how those rates were determined to be different than everyone else, but hopefully we'll get some answers. The only other thing I have is what we've passed out and what was attached to the agenda online, which is the town manager's report that's dated today, October 20th. It's 10 pages, and it is about as comprehensive and detailed as you could possibly want on town business. It goes into all different areas: general government, finance and legal, our bond note sale update, given the amounts and dates, relative to our credit rating and all of that. Budget audit and preparation information is here. Public works infrastructure is detailed. There's an issue on blight. There's an issue on the Greenway and the Centennial Corner, infrastructure project update, et cetera, et cetera. It's very informative and tells you all of the projects that the town manager's office has been working on, as well as what's come before the council. And the manager has highlighted these on an individual basis as different months have passed. But this is an update as this council ends. And I think he should be commended. Does anyone have any questions for him regarding the report? No? Okay. Then we'll move on to the town manager's report for today.
So Madam Chairwoman, I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to keep this very brief. My manager's report is basically contained within the document that I provided to you. I thought it was not only important to showcase all the items that staff has done well with, but that the council should take, a round of encouragement or applause for all the work and hard work you've done, because you've really moved the town forward. So thank you. Just to clarify what was discussed in public participation, my apologies, but the finance committee, as directed underneath me, would be staff members, not the finance subcommittee. So there is a difference, and that would be internal for staff. And again, if there's any questions on the bonding or the banding or how we move forward, I'd be happy to answer questions on that. I do have a plan to move forward regarding the finance, because we'll need to be ahead of this so that we can work with WSA and understand how the impact of increasing rates as associated with the banding and bonding process. We need to be ahead of that and understand what the revenue sharing will be. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Our comments from our finance director, Mrs. Greer.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Chairwoman and council members, just a follow-up from last meeting's update on the finance department. First, just to bring to your attention, the transfers for fiscal year 24-25 and 25-26 were submitted, but I am requesting that you table that until the next meeting. I realized I did not include 2 pages that are going to be important to those transfers. So when you get to that number on the agenda, if you wouldn't mind to.
Both years.
Both years.
Both
yes.
years. Okay.
Yes. As promised, the quarterly budget to actual reports I have for each council member, and those will be distributed. The field work for the 24-25 audit has begun, so I'll keep you all informed of the progress of that. And then last week, we did have an in-person meeting with the Director of Finance from Waterbury. it went well. We did express our concerns and discrepancies in how they were instructed to apply the payment versus how we were seeing them applied on the backup. So he said he would get back to us by the end of the week. I did follow up this morning because I hadn't heard back from him. So I will keep you posted on what the outcome was of that. But he was going to give us a detailed listing of their payments so we can compare it to ours.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions? Yes,
Maria, I was looking at the notice about the ban. Can you clarify the WSA and the roads? Are they two
They're
separate?
two separate and they will be tracked separately, yes.
All right, thank you.
It's not accurate. So we went out for one band conjunctively, so $40 million. It'll be tracked separately as we receive the money, but that was one purchase of one equity firm that purchased that. And will be supplying us $40 million, $40,381,000 with our premium. But we will track it separately.
The reason I ask is before referendum, I clarified, I went back in the minutes, both with Chairwoman and with the bond attorney. I'm not sure if it was the bond attorney or Mr. Burnaby. I'm sorry, I'm
Glenn Rybacky, Attorney Rybacky.
okay, thank you. That they would absolutely be separate.
They're not, they were purchased as one unit of $40 million with a premium, and it's in our best interest to put that out there as one unit. Out of the 9 bidders, we had one bidder that actually split the bid, 36 or, I can't do the math quick enough, 34 million and $6 million. We chose to go with the entity that offered the one purchase. But it'll be incumbent upon finance and WSA to track this money separately. That would be part of the process that I'm developing now, so that we understand that we'll book a receivable that will be associated with that bond so that we could bill WSA monthly, because we'll understand what that cost is. It'll be their responsibility to be making those payments to the town of Watertown to pay for that bond. So it's an 85-15% split between the 6 million and the 36 million, or 34 million.
Through the chair.
all
Go
right.
ahead, Rachel.
Oh, thank you. Mark, can you just clarify? I know we talked about this before, that the bans are for a short period of time, maybe a year.
That's correct.
Okay, so the interest rate that we got, which was very low, which was great, that'll be for 1 year only?
That's correct. So our rate was 2.544. That'll be for 1 year. It's due October 28th, 2026. We're working, I actually today I was working on the document to kind of separate everything out so that we understand what the actual cost is to that borrowing of money. As I talked about splitting the 15%, $6 million is equal to 15%, while the 85 million is equal to the 34 million. We would have to track that. And as we get our fixed amount interest, the cost directly associated with the ban, we'll split that out 85-15, and the town will pay 15% of the interest on that full bond, and WSA will be covering the 85%, if that makes sense.
Not 85% interest.
It would be the share of interest that is owed.
I'm sorry, so can you just say that again?
No portion of the 100% of the bond.
So if the interest was $1 million total for the year, which it's about that, it's a little bit more.
Oh, so you're not talking percentages, you're talking dollar amounts based on the interest
Percentage.
rate?
That's correct.
Okay, okay, that makes more sense. And then after 1 year, are we able to do another ban, or is that when we do the full bond?
So I think that's something we would evaluate at the time. I believe that after all the discussions we've had with the Phoenix Group, that would be in our best interest. They anticipate, although they can't forecast things, that bond rates will actually drop over the next year. And we should be in a favorable position to get a new bond rate. So if it's favorable, we would go out to 20 years. You know, I'm not a finance person like that, but I guess that there could be reasons that may be advantageous for us to go out for another year if that were to be the case. But I think our intent is to go out for a bond prior to that October 28th, 2026.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's move on. Subcommittees,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
We did meet last week. We discussed next year's meetings and approved next year's meeting date for the subcommittee. We discussed that the paving season obviously is over, it's getting cold, with the exception of 3 roads are gonna be filed by the end of the year. And then some line striping that still hasn't happened. We also had a discussion about hiring a company, the same company that evaluated our roads the last time. Now that some paving has been done and the $10 million bond has been taken out, that we want to make sure that we're paving the right roads the right time and not just paving roads that didn't need it when other ones needed it. So that was discussed. The cleaning of the detention basins will be completed the end of this week. So again, to help out with the flooding issues that happen through town, won't eliminate it, but it will help out. The Citizens Academy for Public Works starts this Thursday. And I hope it becomes very successful for these guys because they've been working hard on it. And again, I'll say it again, that what Jerry said is the meeting on the public safety for Main Street is this Thursday. So I encourage people to attend.
Is that going to be a conflict between the,
No, they moved the rooms.
oh, so you couldn't go to both?
Oh, that I don't know.
I think the Citizens Academy is Tuesday, next Tuesday, and then the
Tuesday,
meeting for the RSA is this
It's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
My apologies.
No, that's so many dates that we're meeting that it gets confusing.
For sure.
Item A under the agenda.
I move to approve the updated job description for building official as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anyone have any questions?
I do, Mayor.
Yes.
What's been changed on the job description? I tried to look it up online tonight, I couldn't see anything.
I'm just trying to find my notes so I can answer these questions. So the only thing that's changed is currently our building official is actually in the managers union, supervisors union. I'd like to take that position, move it back into the department head non-organized unit. And the reasons why is because over the last 4 years, it's pretty much operated that way. But back in 2020, I don't know if it was the council or the manager that asked to move them in to try and save some money. I don't think it's fair that the individual who's actually sitting in that position is doing all the work. He's doing the budgeting, he's providing all the information, he's managing his staff, and his department is one of the largest revenue generators of the town. I'd like to move him back into that position, give him a small bump in pay. And it's the perfect opportunity as we go to fill the planning and zoning administrator's position. That way I'm not taking anything away from an individual. We're making the cut when we have the opportunity.
Does that answer your question? Yes.
Through the chair. I have a couple questions, Mark. So it says on here that they will report to the town manager. Who does the building official report to now?
So he is currently reporting to the planning and zoning administrator.
Okay, and so why would you make that change? Because he would become a department head?
He would, yes. He's actually operating as a department head. I'm not saying that he's not getting support by our planning and zoning administrator, but he's basically running his own department, and he and I work together closely. And it's just the actuality of what is happening.
Okay. Who would be considered on the staff for the building official? Because I know we've gone back and forth between having assistant, building officials and so forth. So where are we now with who would be reporting to the building official?
So I don't remember the exact title off the top of my head, but there's a technician, for lack of better words, a building official technician. That is a direct full-time position, and we have hired a part-time building official. So in part of, making this decision, I had discussions with our current building official in whether we should bring in another full-time building official, or if we can manage by having him act as department head, continue to work as he's been working, and bring on a part-time building official. And that's how we're gonna move forward with him.
Okay, I have one last question. What does this mean for the building official's salary? Will the salary be increased? And if so, by how much?
Yes, so I put something on your desk before the start of the meeting. He is currently being paid under level 6 under the Watertown Town Hall Supervisor's employee. And that range runs from 78,567 to $98,233. And I would like to make that range go from, and I apologize, I had the paperwork in front of me, I think I left it on the printer, from about 88,000 to 102,000, which gives about a 20% spread between the two. So it's just a little bit past what's in the union's position, but again, he's gonna officially take responsibility for managing his own department, managing his own budget, managing his own revenue.
Okay, thank you.
One more question then. Now, when he goes through this salary increase, is he gonna gradually go from step to step, or he's gonna just go right up to top pay?
So he is in that salary range, which is within the town hall supervisor's employees. When he moves to a department head, there is no rank, it'll just be a range. There's no steps involved. So when he and I would sit and negotiate that pay, I would expect his pay to be somewhere around that $100,000 mark, give or take $1,000. And again, from his current pay rate, which is currently around, I apologize, I wrote these numbers to bring them down here. I knew it was gonna ask these questions, but around $96,000. We're talking maybe a $4,000 or $5,000 increase to actually take responsibility for what he's been doing.
Okay.
Anyone else? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? The motion passes unanimously.
I move to approve the updated job description for Administrator of Land Use Zoning Enforcement Official.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Questions?
Through the chair. I did notice what Al noticed as well between the at will versus the unit. Can you explain what those terms mean? I mean, I know what at will means, but
Can you point out to me where it says unit? Cause I didn't see
yeah.
that.
It's it's in the Administrator of Land Use. It's on page 3. And it says in the position type expected hours of work, it says this position is a salaried unit member.
So it's basically an oversight. This position is an at-will position of department head. There's,
Okay.
that language, I missed it in creating this, and we'll have to clean that up. But it's an exempt employee, meaning that they're salaried. And they're not a part of any union other than a non-organized unit, which is our department heads and Lisa Catan's position.
So we understand the description would be correct.
I
if
will
we
make
approve
that
it.
correction,
Okay.
yes. And the only changes in this job description was relieving the job descriptions of the oversight of the building official. That was just the only changes.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? The motion passes unanimously.
I move to authorize the town manager to execute the independent contract agreement for the Golf Pro at Crestbrook Park Golf Course.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Through the chair. Are there any major changes from the previous contract to this contract?
We just need the department head, please. Just the department.
Hi. I'm sorry, I'm Michael Gatum, Director of Parks and Recreation. Good evening, everybody, Madam Chair, Council. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
My question was, are there any major changes from the previous year's contract to this year's contract?
No, just address and dates.
Okay.
Yes.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
My say in reading, consider approval of the renewal of the independent contractor agreement. It's self-explanatory. It's a renewal of the agreement already in effect. Thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed or abstaining? The motion passes unanimously.
I move to approve the Crestbrook Golf Course rates for season 2026.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? The motion passes unanimously.
I move to authorize an appropriation in the amount of $1,170.24 from the general fund to the police overtime line item 0105013002000009010. Funds received from the state of Connecticut for Homeland Security activities.
We have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? The motion passes unanimously.
I move to approve the resolution authorizing transfers for fiscal year 2025 and 2026.
No, you want to make a motion to table
This one.
both of them.
Oh, both?
Both of them.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to table item E.
Second.
This is the transfers for the 25-26 year.
Right.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? The motion passes unanimously,
I'll make a motion to table item F.
Second.
which is the transfers from 24-25. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
I move to approve the resolution authorizing the payments of tax refunds.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Under old business. The old business is the discussion and possible action on creating the commission motion made by Rachel at the last meeting. Rachel?
Two things. I will table this conversation until the meeting after the 11th on November 10th. And one of the reasons why I want to table that is because I think that also after the election, we should consider a charter revision commission, because I think this might be better dealt with through a change in the charter to fix some of the problems that led to the situation. So I move to table it.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? The motion passes unanimously. This is the last meeting of this council. And I'd like to thank Anthony DeBono for his years of service and Gary Lafferty for his time on the council. Thank you both and good luck.
That's sad.
With that said,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.